Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Monday night One Simple Change. We are so excited that you're taking the time to take a look at this mission that we're up to. We absolutely love what we get to be a part of, um, just inspiring healthy living around the world. My name is Tori, and I am so excited to be able to share with you tonight just a little bit more about our mission and about my story and my journey. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Um, but while we're waiting for that to pop up, I am just so thankful that I have been a part of this community for it'll be almost 19 years now, in January. And it has been such a gift to be, you know, raised really within this community and to have learned along the way. And I'm just so forever grateful for this catalyst that was a part of our family's life. And so we're just going to talk about how one simple change can make a wonderful difference. Okay, so first, the bad news. Unfortunately, our nation is, and really our world is more unhealthy than ever before. One in four will die of heart disease. One in two women and one in three men will develop cancer. One in three will have diabetes by year 2050, and one in three children is obese. So, Dr. David Katz says that our children are more harmed by poor diet than exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. So, some of the things that are causing this, just lack of health are the increase in environmental toxins. So, if you think about what we're breathing in, what we're drinking, just the pesticides and chemicals, the toxins that are rampant in medications and in products that we put on our skin, in the plastics that our food are that we, keep our food in, and our food is we purchase our food in. So unfortunately, our world is more toxic than ever before. And at the same time that the toxins are increasing, unfortunately, the food quality is decreasing. So 90% of the food eaten in America is processed. Um, we're using preservatives and flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, GMO. There's less nutrients in our foods. There's more pesticides. There's more trans fats and artificial colors and growth hormones. Actually, 80% of the foods at our grocery stores didn't even exist 100 years ago. And a startling fact is that broccoli has lost 80% of its nutritional value. So that is what we're looking at, toxins increasing and food quality decreasing. And these are some of the things that we can do to be healthier. So our community loves to talk about all these different components of health, including exercising and more water and more um, real food and more sleep, and then just making more pure changes in what we're using environmentally and managing our stress. And so tonight we're going to really focus on plants because 75% of diseases are preventable with good nutrition. So we're really going to keep the focus on fruits and vegetables. So the bad news is that oxidative stress causes aging and disease. So we have oxidative stress happening in our body every single day, day after day, week after week. And it is known that 10,000 oxidative hits to DNA are happening per cell per day in humans. It's caused by poor nutrition, medications, smoking, stress, environmental toxins, like we talked about, and even good things that we think of as really healthy for us, like exercise and pregnancy. Those things cause more oxidative stress. But the good news is that when you put lemon on the apple, you can see the other side of the apple is it has slowed down its oxidation. And so antioxidants in fruits and vegetables protect the cells from oxidative stress. So that is why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, it's that they're so good for you, they could save your life. And we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Um, and if we're moving more, or even if we're pregnant, or if we're fighting some sort of chronic illness, we're supposed to actually be eating 16 to 18 servings. And especially for athletes, 16 to 18 servings. And you ask why so many? Well, our produce is picked prematurely. So unfortunately, most of the produce you're going to see in the grocery store, like these bananas, they are not allowed to vine ripen, which is when most of the nutrition comes in to the fruit or vegetable, is when it is allowed to vine ripen. And our produce is transported thousands of miles, and we're not eating enough. It's estimated that 90% of Americans don't eat enough servings. They don't get the 7 to 13. And we are not eating the variety from the rainbow. Every different color of the rainbow has a different benefit. And so we really do need the rainbow. So this is my favorite slide. This shows the difference between multivitamins and whole food. So on the left is this supplement facts label, which is what you'll see on your most common multivitamin and supplements, just a handful of isolated pieces that are actually in that supplement. Now, whole food, science has discovered that there's actually approximately 10,000 or even more phytonutrients that have been found in just one fruit or vegetable, and they all work together synergistically. So 70% of Americans are trying to fill the gaps with a multivitamin. And I just told you that those are isolated pieces of what has been found in whole food. And whole food is perfect. So our body knows exactly what to do when we eat the whole food. And we're not really meant to have any mega dose of any one isolated piece of what's in the food. We're meant to really eat the whole food. So research also shows that vitamins may do more harm than good, and it shows that whole foods protect our bodies. So all things pointed towards more whole food. So this is what our community provides, which I absolutely love. We get to have these amazing free resources we get to offer. We have incredible cookbooks. We have a Start Strong program for kids. We do awesome events like Salad in a Jar and meal prep events, and we have monthly health webinars. So my story is my short, long story is that 19 years ago, my mom said yes, and I'm just so forever grateful that someone had the bottle sitting out and that she thought to ask, "What is that?" And that woman said, "It is not a vitamin, it's whole food." And it made perfect sense to my mom because my great grandmother had planted the seeds of just the power of whole foods. My mom used to help my great grandmother in her garden, and she used to say funny things like Velveeta isn't cheese to my mom. And now looking back, my mom actually understands what she was meaning by that. She was trying to teach her what the difference between processed foods and the power of whole foods. So after my mom said yes, our family started flooding our body with this nutrition. And I got to watch my younger brother at the time, who was on 7 different prescriptions, go from surviving to thriving. And it was just absolutely amazing to watch his body respond to this nutrition. I know that it is exactly what he needed and what we all needed on a cellular level, but we didn't really know how to help him. He was suffering with allergies and eczema and asthma, and even an autoimmune disease called vitiligo, where he lost the pigment in his skin. So from a young age, I began to really get passionate about the power of plants because I was a part of this community, and I just watched his body respond to this whole food nutrition. And it was really the catalyst for our family to just begin making even more changes. And so fast forward, I now have a family of my own. I have 4 children, and I'm just so grateful to have had this nutrition with each of my pregnancies with them. And as soon as they turned 6 months, we opened up the capsules and put it directly, sprinkled the powder in their mouth or put it directly in their baby food. And this is what they were getting. So I just am so thankful that this super simple solution called Juice Plus is a way to bridge the gap in what we are supposed to eat and what we actually do eat. And so this is the rainbow of colors. We have the fruits, which you can see all the nutrition in the fruit blend. We have the vegetable blend. You can see all the nutrition and the berry blend. And then we have an omega blend, which is 100% plant-based omega. So what I love is that the whole foods in Juice Plus are harvested at the peak of ripeness so that the nutrition is intact. It is the whole food, so it literally includes some of the peels, leaves, and seeds. They're juiced and dried at a low temperature into powders, and these plant powders are put into capsules or delicious chewables. Um, and then the omega blend, it bypasses the fish, so we don't do fish oil, but we get to go straight to the algae. Um, and it also has berries and seeds in order to get a full spectrum of plant-based omegas. So this is what our family said yes to 19 years ago, and I am just so, so grateful. We also have a delicious plant-based protein whole food shake mix called Complete. It is vegan, non-GMO, gluten and dairy free. It's 13 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber. It has awesome prebiotic fiber, which actually feeds our good gut bacteria. You can see all the ingredients listed, and some people ask about the soy in our Complete, and I actually am so thankful for that I've had Complete in my body all these years. I have a couple different genetic mutations that affect my hormones, and I believe that the soy has just been such an amazing way um, to really help my body with that whole thing. And it says now we have evidence that soy foods not only prevent breast cancer, but they also benefit women who have breast cancer. And yeah, that's really because the uh, the phytoestrogens in soy actually bind to an estrogen receptor in our bodies, and it blocks the estrogen from having the estrogen effect that can cause issues in our bodies. So I'm just so thankful that this Complete has been in my body all these years, and we make all kinds of delicious treats with Complete. We make Complete pudding that my kids actually make themselves for breakfast, just with a little bit of plant milk and our powder mixed up. It is so simple and so delicious. We call it the healthiest fast food in the world. So now we're going to talk about just the 3 reasons why Juice Plus is unique. It has a food label, so it doesn't say supplement facts on the back. It says nutrition facts. There are no additives. It's non-GMO, vegan, kosher, dairy, and gluten-free. It is NSF third-party certified, which is such a huge deal. That's basically the highest safety and purity certification that you can have. So it just shows us that what is on the label, what says is on the label is actually in the product, and that there's nothing else in there. No contaminants, pesticides, or banned substances. It's also safe for all ages. I told you I opened up the capsules as soon as my babies turned 6 months, but I also had it throughout my whole pregnancies and breastfeeding. And we also have an NSF sports certification for professional athletes. And the third reason why it's unique is because it is the most researched nutritional product in the world. We have over 38 published peer-reviewed clinical studies on Juice Plus. And these are some of the leading hospitals and universities that have studied Juice Plus. So just some of the top universities around our country and even in the world. And what we can promise you, the research results are that have attracted thousands of doctors to our mission is that it is bioavailable. It contributes to cardiovascular wellness. Juice Plus supports immune health and helps protect DNA and reduces oxidative stress and supports healthy skin and healthy gums and a healthy inflammatory response. It supports quality of life in ovarian cancers and improves metabolism in overweight boys, and it supports lung health in smokers. So Dr. Richard Du Bois says there is nothing else any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. And I just love that because my husband is a functional medicine practitioner, and he is always telling me about how there's absolutely nothing he could give his patients, a prescription or supplement, that he knows, can do what Juice Plus can do. So this is our family health study, Healthy Starts for Families. It is where one adult can sponsor one child, ages 4 all the way up to 18, to receive Juice Plus at no cost for up to 4 years. And the study has been amazing. It's just showing that children are overall healthier, drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, having to go to the doctor less, and taking less medication, and just overall so much healthier. Okay, and you probably just heard in the background, my tower garden water just came on. We grow our own garden in our kitchen year round. It actually uses 98% less water, and it uses 90% less space, and there's 30% more yield, and it grows 3 times as fast, 3 times faster than a traditional garden. And it is just so much fun to have right in my kitchen. So it is on a timer. The LED grow lights come on their own, and the water comes on its own. And we just love having it and getting to harvest food right off of it for salads and greens to throw in smoothies. And it's so much fun. It's definitely the future of growing. So this is the most simple change, is to just take the Juice Plus capsules and chewables and the complete. That's super simple. But we also have the Shred 10, which is a lifestyle program. So it's not just about weight loss. It's really about shedding toxins, which just sets us up for overall better health. And so we can share more about the Shred 10. The person that invited you can share more about the Shred 10 in our Shred 10 community that we shred once a month. Today happens to be day 8 of our November shred, and I absolutely love this 10 days of just being super intentional and the resources that come along with it. So this is just an example of toxins being stored in our fat cells to protect our vital organs. And when we try to shed fat in an unhealthy way without whole food nutrition, the support of whole food nutrition, we will lose fat sometimes, but we don't lose the toxins. So we end up rebounding, and the fat is coming back because our body just naturally wants to protect its vital organs. Well, when you have the support of whole food nutrition, you're able to shed those toxins and lose the fat, and then you just gain more muscle and overall better health. So Juice Plus is super affordable, just literally less than your daily cup of coffee. You can see our products, and I just love that it is such a simple, affordable way to be able to bridge the gap in our nutrition. So we invite you to join us to get started on Juice Plus, or even to share this gift of hope that is based on science. So now I'm going to transition, and I'm going to introduce Jamie. So Jamie is going to jump on and share her story, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear from her tonight. Are you there, Jamie?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. So a couple months ago, I was still looking to resolve and improve some chronic health conditions that I've been dealing with for years. And of course, I'm always looking for ways to help Colby. For those of you who don't know, my 6-year-old son, Colby, has autism. We've seen improvements in both of our health since eliminating some things from our diets and striving to live healthier in February of 2017, but there still seemed to be a piece missing. Um, that's when I learned about the simple way to flood our bodies with over 30 fruits and vegetables every day. Now I've experienced an increase in energy. My seborrhea has cleared up. I've been taking a muscle relaxer for years for a chronic health condition I have dealing with pain in my head and neck. And I'm very happy to say that last night I reduced it for 25%. And amazingly, I woke up today and I wasn't in any pain despite cutting down my medication. When it comes to Colby, we've noticed at certain times he's more patient than he used to be. When speaking to his teacher recently about a spelling test, which he got 100% on, she happened to mention that he just seemed to explode verbally. And she, at the time, didn't know that I had done anything differently. Um, his verbal capability, had just kind of exploded, is the word she used. And then about a week and a half later, his Sunday school teacher made the exact same comment to me. Neither of them knew that I had started him anything new. And his teacher was on the last call that I spoke about. And so she went and looked back at his recorded data to see what it would be pre and post starting Juice Plus. And so we started in September. And so for his data recorded from late August to mid-October, he no longer needed I've just got this information today, so I have to read it. He no longer needed concepts of print intervention. He passed level A readers with at a 95% with a 6% increase. Reading at a level B with 80% accuracy with a 29% increase. And then just on a more personal level, like a more social level, she mentioned today that he burped and then he giggled, and then he said, "Excuse me, Miss Kell." And typically when he's taught to speak, it's very robotic, and it's very, just kind of spouted off. So for him to say something naturally like that is big. It's huge. You know, he was silly, and it didn't sound rehearsed. She said, "We're beginning to see more of this." Twice now his sleeves have been wet, and he will come up and say, "I don't like this wet." For Colby to use a 4 or 5 word sentence like that and it be relative and functional, we haven't heard 4 and 5 word sentences out of my son. It's always been 2 or 3 word utterances. He's been expressing feelings and dislikes that he hasn't been in August. He also has recognized the behavior system that they used and understands the value of that token system and the rewards. And he will say, "My tokens," or "more tokens," when he has completed a task, and knowing that when he earns 5 of them, that it is break time. The tokens meant nothing to him last year or over the summer. Everyone at school last year was Miss Kell. It didn't matter if it was a therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, his teacher, an aide, even the teachers at school, they were all Miss Kell. And now he refers to 2 aides and his other first grade teacher all by their names. It's just been such a blessing for us, and I just want to share with people, be a blessing to others, and to glorify God with what He has given us, because this is just amazing progress for my son, and to be able to speak to my son in these ways, that 3 years ago I would have never imagined. I can't tell how much it means.
Jamie,
But
thank you so much for sharing. That is incredible.
Thank
And
you.
I mean, just even the new updates from the last time I got to hear your story. Wow, that is so beautiful. I'm sure you brought a tear to each one of our eyes tonight with that.
Yes.
So, thank you. Okay, now we're gonna get to hear from Tessa. So Tessa, we would love it if you would unmute yourself and share your story. Okay, you're still muted.
Yeah. Am I back?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Sorry, I'm new to this whole thing. So hi everyone, I'm Tessa. I have kind of a multi-layered story, as you kind of heard last time, but so I have an 11-year-old son with a cerebral palsy diagnosis. He was a preemie. And then I have a 9-year-old daughter who had a stroke when she was born. And you know, he kind of gets, even though she has significantly more brain damage, he has higher needs. So he has a feeding tube, bilateral hearing loss, so he uses sign language. He walks, but it's a little interesting to see. And I met, while I was doing neuro movement, I met Nikki Wolf in St. Louis, and she was telling me about this. I thought, we'll just try it. I thought I would try it for myself, but I got so excited that I had to try it for him at the same time. So he was on a lot. So the G tube, to get him to poop, it's a real thing. We had to give him so much junk to get him to poop. It was just an absolute nightmare. And it was keeping track of it, and it's just crazy. It was terrible. So after, it was less than a week of just doing the capsules, he was pooping. And I'm like, okay, this has got to be a fluke. 2 weeks, same thing. And then finally, when we added the omegas, we have him pooping on the potty, which is like a huge thing for us. And his complexion is better. There's just so many things for him that are better because we were adding these, just opening him up, putting him on water, putting him in through his G tube. So that has been huge. And then with my daughter, Temperance, we had her on the gummies, and then it was suggested to me that I try the capsules with her. And since she can take pills like a champ, she has been on them over, I think it's closer to 3 weeks now, where I've been giving them to her instead of the gummies. And she has a complex diagnosis. Because of the stroke, she has a lot of emotional regulation problems. And because of that, she has been inpatient in a psychiatric hospital since August. We've had over 3 weeks inpatient, and it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I haven't told very many people that, so you guys are getting to hear it because of how much this has changed for us. I feel like you need to know the severity of what we were going through. We were on a ton of medicine. The medicine wasn't helping. So we still are on a little bit of medicine, nothing like we were before. But now that we're doing the capsules and the omegas, she's a different kid. Like, we had a blow up tonight, but it was nothing compared to any of the blow ups. She's not self-harming. She's not biting. Her suicidal stuff is gone. She's not saying, like, every time she gets upset, she just doesn't immediately fall into this, like, I'm so bad or anything like that. And it's crazy. It's like, it's food. It's crazy. Sorry, my husband just walked in. Hi. But it's been a tremendous help for us. So I'm I hid in the kitchen. Anyway, while we were doing all of that, I was doing the capsules and the shakes. And with her being in and out of the hospital and me taking better care of myself with the nutrition component, I haven't had migraines. I haven't been, I don't think I've been near as grumpy. I'm not sure. I've been a little grumpy, just, but I haven't had the migraines, and I've started working out. My energy is so much better. And I was on energy things before. I had to take them to get through the day. And, pretty much anything I could find, I would take. I was on drinking tons of tea, tons of Starbucks, anything. I don't even crave that anymore. And it's huge. It's so huge. And my daughter has been watching some of the videos with me, and she didn't realize that the shakes that I was drinking were Juice Plus shakes. So she said something, we had a video on this morning, and she was like, Mommy, why don't you give me the shakes? And I was like, I'm not sharing my shakes with you. So I don't know. It's just been a very interesting up and down of a couple of months that I know that things have taken a different trajectory than they would have taken if we wouldn't have had this. So I'm thankful. Very, very, very thankful.
Oh my goodness. Well, you can see why we are just so passionate about getting this into the hands of mamas like you that are out there just fighting to love on and care for your children. And I just believe that every family deserves this in their toolbox and deserves to know about this. And I am just so thankful that we got to hear Jamie and Tessa's stories tonight, and definitely get with the person who invited you. Yes.
Nice. One more thing. Speaking of loving on, for the first time, I always give my children a hug when they get up in the morning. When they come downstairs, they get a hug. And one day, recently, Colby came down the stairs, and I wasn't standing down there. He came over to me and found me and said, I want a hug. That was the first time my son has ever asked me for a hug. That was just...
Tori,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tori, you keep getting muted for some reason.
Okay. I don't know how to top that. That's amazing. And I'm just so thankful that you guys have gotten to have these experiences with your children and seeing glimpses of healing happening in their bodies. And the power of plants is just amazing. And I'm just so excited that we have this incredible community that gets to be on this mission and just share the goodness of God's perfect plants. And I'm so thankful that you guys shared tonight. And just definitely anybody that has any questions, follow up with the person that invited you to listen in. And we are so excited to connect you with all of our resources.
Got it in another bottle.
To your questions. Everyone have a great rest of your night. Thank you for jumping on.
You guys are unmuted. I'll say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamie and Tessa.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.